I get the question all the time, is it worth it to go to Patagonia for trout fishing?
Ready to go? Dispatch, this is Alpha Charlie Yankee. Inbound to Tigre River.
I would say it's absolutely worth it. The fishing experiences are completely different. The fish behave differently. There's lots of fish. The views, the setting, I mean, it's all different. The only common thread is the trout. As a program director for South America, it does come with quite a bit of travel and on-site visitations. For just like this trip where we're here to see the program firsthand, sleep in the beds, eat the food, meet the guides, you know, make sure we've got a very firm and complete understanding of every detail of the program, something that really requires time and it requires being here in person. Yes, it's a lot of fishing and a lot of time on the water, which, you know, I'm not complaining about, but that's really what it takes to really understand it and to be prepared to help our clients as they're choosing what lodge they want to go to and as well as when they're preparing for their trip. When we arrived at Rio Palena Lodge, in true 11 fashion, they had the helicopter ready for us. We went down to the heli takeoff, loaded up the chopper, and we were out for the day fishing at Lago X. It was a 30-minute flight from the lodge over multiple valleys and peaks and, you know, just impressive scenery with glaciers and rivers in every direction. An absolutely stunning flight. And then when we arrived to Lago X, the pilot did a quick circle, kind of surveying the area, and then tucked right up into a beach where they had drift boats stashed for us, they had motors stashed, and everything was ready to go essentially. So I talk to a lot of people when they're planning their trips to Patagonia, and most people are a little bit overwhelmed. There's so many things to consider, so many different areas, and they want to make sure they get it right. Sometimes people call me or email me and they say, I want to do anything but lakes. Lake fishing in Patagonia is, in my opinion, a must-see. It's part of a Patagonia fishing experience, and the lake fishing down here can be really good. So we had some really cool sight fishing in the morning, and when the wind did pick up, we pushed into a kind of the lower end of the lake, into a protected little bay, and it was really productive. We were getting a lot of fish, mostly rainbows at Lago X that day, although the guide said they do, you know, it depends on the day. Sometimes they catch more browns, sometimes an even mix, but we were generally fishing streamers, kind of fishing drop-offs and underwater structure and reed lines. Really fun fishing, really engaging. I love lake fishing in Patagonia, and you know, this just delivered. On the third day, again, we got lucky with the weather. So we were back in the helicopter and we were gonna focus on a couple wade fisheries. So we started the day with a relatively quick flight, 15 minutes or so. And we landed at the Rio Tranquilo, which is this gorgeous piece of water kind of ideal for wade angling, you know, with drop-offs and runs and great structure to fish to. We had a few of the other guides in there, and it was kind of guides day off, you know, while also fishing with us and you know, of course, making sure we know what we were doing. But it was really fun to be out there with the guys and just catching fish. And again, this is a productive river here. We didn't find anything super big here, but we had a lot of action. So after we wrapped up our morning at Rio Tranquilo, 11 kind of hit us with a surprise, as they're known to do, and we took a flight, you know, back up to a different area and landed to a hot lunch, a beautiful table overlooking the Palena River, and just an incredible spread of food. I don't know if you can have a better lunch on any river. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. The food was delicious, and then we took the helicopter when lunch was over to the next spot.
Alpha Charlie Yankee just airborne from Palena Camp, inbound to Tigre River. Copy that, thanks.
Using a helicopter to fish is something that isn't necessarily normal, and definitely not in most programs anywhere in the world. But here at 11 in Patagonia, we're generally in the morning wadering up. You kind of bring all your rods, all your fishing stuff broken down. You put it in the basket on the side of the heli. And then once you land at the body of water that you're gonna fish, that's your opportunity to gear up, get the rods rigged as the guides are getting either the boat ready or getting the other stuff ready. And then from there, you're off fishing. When it's time to move, you break everything back down, everything gets packed up, but you're still in your waders the whole time. So it's pretty quick, you're fast, you're mobile, and it's really fun. So after the hot lunch, the streamside Palena lunch that they surprised us with, we jumped back in the helicopter and flew over to the Tigre River. This was a brook trout fishery, generally small fish, but really scenic, you know, aggressive fish, and beautiful scenery. So at Rio Palena Lodge, we were there to fish, and we did fish a lot. And they fished us, you know, as much as we were willing to. I'm sure the guides would have stayed longer. But the lodge has so much to offer. You know, it almost feels like you have to get back to enjoy the amenities. They've got, you know, the wood-fired spa, they've got the sauna, each with incredible views. You know, the great bar and lounge to hang out at, where we had a pisco tasting, and then the asado zone, as they call it, kind of on the property but tucked away. You know, it's almost like a little surprise. You don't know it's there until the asado's happening. And as you walk over there, in my case, they surprised me with a horse. You know, get on this horse and you head down to the asado zone and you get off and it looks like a movie set. Yellow Dog and 11 have a great partnership. We work with a number of their other lodges in other parts of the world, New Zealand, Iceland, you know, the ones here in Chile that I'm visiting. And we're really excited to work with 11, and they just do such a great job at delivering for their guests.